Hello everyone, this is Tom Fox. I'm the Compliance Evangelist, and I'd like to welcome you to the August edition of my 1 month to a more effective compliance program series that I'm running throughout 2017. This month will be 1 month to more effective continuous improvement. My sponsor this month is Affiliated Monitors. Founded in 2004, Affiliated Monitors provides professional, independent integrity monitoring and ethics and compliance assessments nationally and internationally and across all industries. With its knowledge of effective ethics and compliance programs and cultures, Affiliated Monitors is respected for its work as the corporate monitor on matters ranging from multinational corporations to small and mid-sized companies, and even individuals. Having served in over 500 monitorships, no one has more experience as an independent monitor than the team at Affiliated Monitors. For more information on how an independent monitor can help improve your company's ethics and compliance program, I would urge you to visit Affiliated Monitors at www.affiliatedmonitors.com. As I indicated, this month we're going to look at 1 month to more effective continuous improvement. We're going to consider auditing and monitoring, the different types of auditing that you can do, from third-party auditing, supply chain, data risk auditing, culture auditing, auditing against fraud. We're going to talk about control testing. We're going to look at continuous improvement through the use of big data. We're going to look at measuring effectiveness, risk-based monitoring, email sweeps as monitoring, and listening as continuous monitoring. I think you're going to find it a fascinating month, and I'm sure at the end of the month you will have picked up multiple lessons on what you can do to improve your compliance program around continuous improvement. This is Tom Fox. Thank you very much for joining me on this episode, and I hope you'll join me for the entire month. This 2017 1 month to a better compliance program podcast series is a part of the Compliance Podcast Network. Day 15, risk-based monitoring for continuous improvement. Another mechanism for continuous improvement of your compliance program is through risk-based monitoring. Under Prong 5 of the Department of Justice's evaluation of corporate compliance programs is the following topic in question: manifested risks. How is the company's risk assessment process accounted for manifested risk? I found this to focus as much on the continuous improvement component as it did with the risk assessment component, through the emphasis of risks which have been established and demonstrated by the organization. In other words, were you monitoring the risks that you had not only identified but also have revealed themselves to your organization through a variety of other tools? Risk-based monitoring is really about continuous ongoing monitoring for those things which provide the most potential future risk to you. In other words, instead of a strategic risk registry that may come in part with forecasting, what you're really considering is we're trying to anticipate these risks by using a risk-based monitoring to review issues on an ongoing basis. And the models behind the risk-based monitoring, they're continuously refined based upon incoming data. That sounds suspiciously like the OODA feedback loop that we talked about in a prior podcast. The problem for many companies is they are siloed not only in their data but in their systems. They may not be tracking a rigorous quantified information all the time. So here you can think to, as data comes in, you begin to note patterns in certain groupings of data, but do you have that information available to you across a wide basis? So does your GTE system talk to your sales system? Does it talk to your CSR system? Does it talk to your charitable donation system? Does it talk to your compensation system for both employees and agents? Through the use of risk-based monitoring, you begin to see things in almost real time-based trends of real data that you can jump on and try to make adjustments before things really get out of control. The implications: well, one, having access to information around sales, the sales process, and corporate largesse, and things like CSR, from gifts, travel and entertainment, to conferences for customers and end users. Through such use of risk-based monitoring, a compliance professional would have the opportunity to see trends developing which would allow for an intervention for a prescriptive solution which could prevent an issue from becoming a full FCPA violation. Yet you must guard against bias. Social media has rapidly accelerated the agility which the public can change allegiance and direction. It used to be when information was disseminated, it was disseminated slower and more compartmentalized within regions and market segment. That market resistance to such fluctuation was more robust. Now, with well-placed advertising, social media commentary, or public response to corporate missteps can swirl into a maelstrom of market changes within hours that's agnostic to a region or market segments. In today's world, the speed at which reputational damage rains out can overwhelm a corporation's ability to respond. One might consider Wells Fargo and how fast the situation spun out of control for them after their $185 million fine was announced. It is through the use of risk-based monitoring, which allows for almost a real-time input so that a response can be to be forecasted, assessed, or even an unassessed risk can be developed before it all goes down the toilet. In the compliance world, such tools have been brought to bear when considering not only the expense side of things, such as gifts, travel, and entertainment, but also the sales side, looking at sales data. This could be an internal company data on its own sales force and the information developed from or concerning your third-party sales team. If you think to the pharmaceutical world of product testing and product development, the need for such real-time information can be very critical. Through the development of these techniques, such as compliance tools, the compliance professional can add real value to the organization through the use of risk-based monitoring. With the plethora of data on where and how corruption is likely to occur, coupled with meaningful sales and expense data, the compliance professional should be able to move direct from detect to prevent to prescriptive compliance solutions to prevent legal violations. Finally, the beauty of all these techniques articulated is that they are tools that can make companies more efficient and, at the end of the day, more profitable. They also move compliance into the fabric and DNA of an organization, or in the words of Wei Chin, the former DOJ compliance counsel, operationalize compliance. Her intonation to operationalize compliance speaks to a wide variety of tools to input information so that you can continuously improve your compliance program. Risk-based monitoring is certainly one mechanism to obtain information and feed it back into your compliance program to both prevent and detect prongs. Once again, risk-based monitoring gives you another opportunity for continuous improvement. As part of the feedback loop, it gives you information. And if you think about, or rather, if you have to go in front of the Department of Justice in the new Compliance Council, building upon what Wei Chin started, you will need to demonstrate that not only did you have the information and collect the data, but that then you use the data going forward. So risk-based monitoring is another mechanism for you to do so. So what are today's 3 key takeaways? Well, first, I'd ask you to think about Prong 5 in the evaluation of corporate compliance programs under manifested risks. This is risks that you've identified or have revealed themselves to your organization. So do you monitor manifested risks? Number 2, a risk-based monitoring approach can allow you to see things in almost real time. In another life, I worked in the energy industry where we did real-time drilling and real-time monitoring of drill sites. This was certainly a big safety improvement, as you didn't have to send drillers out offshore, and they could work in an office, which was much safer. But if you can bring these same techniques to the compliance function, you can improve the efficiency of your organization. And finally, this leads to point number 3, management of risk can serve your compliance program in a variety of ways. It can certainly operationalize your compliance program. It can also lead to continuous improvement and gives you a way to demonstrate continuous improvement. It is a business process that can lead to more efficient business and, at the end of the day, more profitable business. And when compliance can show more profitability, you're really onto something. This is Tom Fox. Thank you for joining me for day 15 of 1 month to more effective continuous improvement, and I hope you'll join me tomorrow for day 16. This is Tom Fox again. I'd like to thank you for listening to this episode of 1 month to more effective continuous improvement in your compliance program. If you have listened to this podcast on iTunes, please rate this podcast. It was a help in our rankings, and also get the word out about the only daily podcast to help you improve your compliance program. If you have any questions, you can email me at tfox@tfoxlaw.com. This is Tom Fox. I'm the Compliance Evangelist, and you've been listening to 1 month of more effective continuous improvement from the Compliance Podcast Network.